Oh boy, Nikon finally did it. They finally put shutter angle in the Z8 and the Z6 Mark III. This is actually really huge news and we're going to talk about it. But before we get started, like this video, hit the subscribe button and consider joining the channel. Channel members get exclusive access to Filmmaker Alchemy, behind the scenes lessons and insights on the business of video production. Learn how to turn your content into gold. You know it, I love it. Shutter angle is one of those things that has been a tentpole, a staple in the Lumix fold of special features that make Lumix, sacred. Oh, they've got shutter angle. Lumix has shutter angle. No one else has shutter angle. Sony kind of did it on the FX3 and the FX30, so we're not going to talk about that. But Lumix, oh, shutter angle. But look, here comes Nikon saying we can do shutter angle too. It's about time. It only took you, I don't know, I haven't really been paying attention to Nikon all that long. They were asleep for so many years, but now they are finally awake. The Z8, the Z6 Mark III get shutter angle. These aren't special cinema cameras. They're not, anything for broadcast. They're not video camera. These are hybrids, true hybrids. The Z8 will shoot 8K video, 8K 60 on the Z8. So when you're talking about Lumix and the S1R Mark II, and hey, it does 8K 30, Nikon Z8 has been doing 8K 60 internal RAW for a while now, and the Z8's been around long enough that it's actually on sale right now, I believe, so you can go check it out. And I think it's about the equivalent price point as an S1R Mark II. The new camera from Lumix that's got the latest and greatest in resolution from Lumix, the Z8 has those same specs and features, very similar anyway, for a very, very similar price point, at least depending on the sale that you can find. And now we've also got shutter angle coming to the Nikon family. I'm glad to see they finally woke up and realized that these cameras, shutter speed is great for photo. Use your shutter speed for photo. I recommend it. But for video, shutter angle, very, very helpful as you're switching between different frame rates. You're shooting 30, you're shooting 24, you're shooting 60, you're shooting 120, whatever you're doing, set it, forget it, and don't worry. And you know what? This is great because more people are going to understand shutter angle. They're going to talk about the benefits. And guess what? You're going to see all these creators talk about, did you know shutter angle? And here I have been talking about it for over 10 years. Not crazy. It's a powerful tool, powerful feature, and it's a tiny little thing. Yes, you can work around it. You don't need it, but you kind of need it if you're shooting video. You really want shutter angle anyway to do video proper and make it easier on yourself because that's what it's all about. These tools, the amount we spend, the cost, the features, all that. It's only worthwhile if it actually helps you accomplish the job. And shutter angle is one of those things that makes shooting video so much easier and quicker and faster and less to think about on the technical side. So you can invest more of those brain cells into the creative side and thinking about the art of it all, which is the most important part probably. But you still got to get the technicals right. So if shutter angle can help fill that gap and make it easier to make sure that your motion blur looks proper, then great. Use shutter angle, and now you can do it on the Nikon Z8 and the Z6 Mark III. The Z6 Mark III is the cheaper option. I know a lot of times it was like figuring out like, okay, well the Z8, that sounds like a bigger number, but then the Z6 is the Mark III, so is that better? It's really going to depend on what features you need, but the Z8 is the more expensive, better one, and the Z6 Mark III, even though it's 3 generations in now, is the cheaper one. That'll, I believe, will go up to 6K. I don't think the Z6 Mark III will do 8K, but it will do 6K and all these other cool features that Nikon is finally picking up. Now, I haven't actually shot with either of these cameras myself. I'm trying to change that. I'm trying to fix that so I can speak a little bit more authoritatively on these things, because that's the thing you'll find. It's very easy for me to talk about Lumix because I've been shooting it since the GH1. Definitely have shot my fair share of Canon back in the DSLR days. Only a little bit on the RF mount. The original R5 could have been a great camera for me, but the overheating kind of like, I'm going to pass on that one. Sony, I've shot my fair share with, but like none of them have been my cameras that I bought. They're all either rentals or for different projects. So, decently experienced with those cameras, like where I can feel like yes, I'm pretty happy with Lumix compared to Canon and Sony, at least from the cameras that I've used and got my hands on. Things like the FX6, the A7S III, the A7 IV, Canon, the R5, so to speak. But I really haven't touched Nikon since, gosh, like the D600. Okay, that was their like budget full frame, had video features, but was like back when Nikon just didn't know what they were doing. So I want to change that. I want to play around with these cameras because it's clear to me after Nikon bought Red that they have an appetite for video and putting it in these hybrids at a level that matters. Obviously, that was true when they're doing something like the Z8 where it's got 8K 60, internal RAW, crazy features. But what's it like to actually use them? Just because it has shutter angle doesn't mean that it's the best camera ever, right? Obviously, just because you throw shutter angle in there doesn't mean it solves any other problems. So what is some stuff I've heard? This is where I love your feedback. Leave a comment. Let me know if you've shot with these cameras. I'm going to get my hands on them soon enough, but please let me know your thoughts because I've heard, again, this is just what people say on the internet, that dynamic range suffers a little bit on the Z8 and that it's a little noisier because of that stack sensor. That design is faster readouts, but has some compromise, some trade-offs elsewhere. And that I sort of believe, just because it usually is the case that one technology is not better or superior than another. Sometimes that can be true, but often it's a situation of trade-offs. Do you prefer this or do you prefer that? Do you want one thing or do you want another? And when we live in that world, it is nice because it gives us all options. You can go for something faster in terms of readout, if you're not as worried about noise and dynamic range. Or maybe you want dynamic range and better noise performance, and you're okay with a slower sensor. I don't know. That's going to be up to you. And I'd love to hear if that is true about the Z8 or any other gotchas or things you should watch out for on the Z8 or the Z6 Mark III if you've used them. But regardless of all of that, I'm glad that this is a free firmware upgrade. You have to pay for some stupid feature like shutter angle. It should have been there from the beginning. If you're gonna go to the lengths of releasing a camera that can shoot 8K 60 and do internal RAW, and you're not gonna have shutter angle on it, like, this should have been day one, guys. This should have been day one. So I'm glad to see it finally playing catch up with shutter angle, and now Lumix really has to watch out for Nikon to gobble up more of their features if they release a camera that does open gate. Another one of those sacred Lumix tent poles. Oh, but it does open gate. No one else does open gate. Open gate and shutter angle. They better watch out. Canon, Sony, Nikon, any of them could do exactly what Nikon did, which is, hey, we got shutter angle now too. Just like that, overnight. Lumix releases the S1R Mark II. Hey, 8K, hey, this, hey, oh, 44, 45 megapixels. And Nikon's like, here's shutter angle. Go update your cameras with the firmware. That's all it takes. And if any of them start doing open gate, if more of them start doing shutter angle, those are the kind of diminishing features, like the last final straws we have to hold on to of like, okay, what's keeping us afloat here? I would love to see any of these companies push forward with new features like, you know what I'm going to say, internal NDs. How about internal 32-bit float audio? How about more USB-C ports than just one? In fact, I think Nikon actually got that right. I think, if I'm not mistaken, the Z8 has 2 USB-C ports. Crazy, I know. But those are the kind of things that I love to see. I want to see new features. I'm glad they're playing catch up and finally getting shutter angle in there. You're going to release these cameras, these hybrids with these crazy specs, even Canon, you know, the R5, and it shoots 8K. Or Sony's got all these crazy video features in their cameras. And they're like, yeah, but shutter angle is only for the cinema ones, not the Alpha, the FX. Those are the ones that get shutter angle. Just give it to all of them. It's stupid to designate and hide these things away. Pointless. Give us all shutter angle. Let's all be on the equal playing field. Let's all have shutter angle. You can use it for video. You don't have to. You can use shutter speed. It's still there in the camera. Pick between the one you want. Like, what's the other one? Oh, you know, your gain or your ISO. Do you want gain in dB or do you want ISO? You know, just have the option. Just give us both. I don't care what you prefer. I like ISO. I don't know why dB always is weird to me, but whatever. It's probably a good reason for it. Maybe I'll need to do a little more research on that, but ISO works fine enough. But shutter angle, shutter speed, give us both on all the cameras, especially when you're, you know, rolling out these crazy features like 8K, like 8K 60, internal RAW. They got, you know, IBIS for video. They got autofocus for video. Got all this stuff for video. And they're just now doing shutter angle. Thank goodness. I'm looking forward to the day where we can be across this bridge and we don't have to talk about it anymore because everybody knows what shutter angle is. They don't have to be confused by it. Anyone using shutter speed is doing the shutter angle math in their head anyway. That's the sad truth of the whole equation. The people who say, oh, I don't need shutter angle, you're literally just doing the math in your own head, and you could just have the camera do it for you. Like, you don't have to think about it. Again, shutter angle, one of those helpful tools so you can be more creative, focus on the stuff that matters, and worry less about the technical side of the equation. Glad to see that it finally made its way into these Nikon bodies, and if anything, it just makes them that much more valuable. And because they've been out for a little bit, they're coming down in price. I love to see that as well. The support, the dedication, continuing to update camera bodies and not just saving the feature for the next generation. It's more features, lower price, huge value. That's what I love to see. So thank you, Nikon, for doing this. I'm looking forward to more of what you have to offer, and I'm very excited to see what you finally do with Red.